At the dawn of the 21st century, humanity is drowning in a sea of subreption. Bad, wrong, inane, and dangerous information, much of it deliberately false, floods our email boxes, drowning little pieces of our souls every day. All day. We even mindlessly doom scroll our way through meals. From inbox spam to social media's fake advertising and faker influencers, it's increasingly difficult to know what's true and who is what I'm calling a for-profit persona. Last week, the entertainment company 4Front announced that they are and have been financing 22 fictional TikTok characters. These characters are created, managed, scripted, and salaried entirely by 4Front staff, who, props where props are due, are writing some very creative stories. These for-profit persona are akin to an actor who has a role on a series, but instead of starring on Netflix or HBO, they're on TikTok. The company made the announcement after some media critics called out the ethics of promoting fictional characters on what I guess they presume is a nonfiction platform. But TikTok never said it's exclusively about nonfiction, and 4Front labels all of its characters as #fictional. Still, most TikTok users do expect they're watching real people doing real things, not paid actors. 4Front's been clear about their intention to create a new interactive entertainment genre. Their characters use regular TikTok accounts that everyone can comment on, and characters respond to viewers as readily as to other actors. In a recent insider interview, 4Front co-founder Anna Melamed said that they fully expect not to be alone in this space for long. So, they're actively working with TikTok to label this new interactive entertainment genre more clearly as fiction. Perhaps one of history's most infamous for-profit personas is Judas Iscariot, who shows how devastating it can be to perform in someone else's script, even voluntarily. Judas chooses to betray Jesus, yes, but in so doing, he is also betraying himself by allowing someone else to control his storyline. In Mark chapter 14, verses 10 through 11, he writes, Judas Iscariot, one of the 12, went to the chief priests to give Jesus up to them. When they heard it, they were delighted and promised to give him money. So he started looking for an opportunity to turn him in. Notice that in Mark, the oldest gospel, Judas doesn't betray Jesus. Judas gives Jesus up. It's an important distinction because it implies that when we give up faith in God, the only betrayal that happens is to our true selves, our innately God-connected selves. We become someone else, a for-profit persona that often tricks us as readily as others into believing we are something we are not. Judas's betrayal of Jesus is less about betraying Jesus than it is about betraying ourselves, about taking money for a role we should have turned down, about letting someone else script our lives instead of God. Did Judas know he was a for-profit persona? Or did he get so caught up in the part that he forgot his true self? On the other hand, did he know his true God self so well that he could play the part with convincing conviction? Stage and screen personalities often talk about how difficult it is to switch off a character. Well, these new social media actors live their characters nearly 24 hours a day in the ultimate example of method acting. Do they realize they might be giving up their own lives to live their characters instead? If actors have these struggles, if Judas had these struggles, I wonder, how much input and control do we have over the characters and storylines of our lives? We all have different personas, faces, the Japanese call them. We have a work face and a home face, a game face, a poker face, and others. These personas don't make us ingenuine, but even a casually self-reflective individual understands that different social situations evoke particular social behaviors. Sometimes we don't consciously wear our personas. They just sort of happen, like characters in a TikTok. Society indicates behaviors and mores, but we have the freedom to decide whether or not to follow those standards. We can be true to ourselves and still behave like decent human beings when we're with others. I don't go to a business meeting, either virtually or online, in my bathrobe. I mean, not because the system oppresses me, but because I'm attempting to respect my fellow human beings by not subjecting them to my skinny white ghost legs. I mean, really, it's not pretty. So I write the script about my clothing, my thoughts, my words, and my actions in public and on social media. It's all 100% me, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm also thankful that I live in a place, as imperfect as the United States is, it's still a place that gives me the freedom to be me. But I realize too that I am a scripted character within the construct of this society, even if I am mainly improvising as I go along. We are all scripted by our thoughts, actions, upbringings, economics, and social circumstances, and thousands of other factors that help determine how we see ourselves and how we act and react to others in the world. These situational influences also guide us towards certain careers, people, and places. Unfortunately, some oppressive situational influences keep billions of us from imagining and living our own scripts, which makes it all the more important for followers of Jesus, for people who believe in the greater common good, to make the compassionate Christ our primary persona, and like him, never sell it to anyone for any price. Amen. Our question today is, how do we practice putting on the persona of Jesus? How do we access the persona of Jesus, which is within us all the time, but which we typically tend to ignore and forget? How do we practice accessing the persona of Jesus? I'll send you into breakout rooms for about 10 minutes. Please enjoy your discussions. Take some notes so that when we get back together as a group, we can share what we've learned with each other. Enjoy your discussions, folks.